Hello everybody, welcome to Indie Voice. Today we're talking about a very interesting and also a lovable game from the awesome company SuperGiant Games. And that game is called Pyre. Now, Pyre I am actually been pretty interested in, and it's something that has been a long time coming project. This project has been in work for 3 years, and after seeing the trailers and how it works and what this game truly is, I have to tell you, this game is definitely something I did not expect to happen, and with the combination of these genres, it made an awesome game like this. So I'm going to give you that review today, and I'll be talking about the pros, cons, gameplay, story, all the above things that you normally would see in a gameplay review. Now, let's get started with that. So the game is basically a story based off of a team-based type of game. If you ever seen like basketball and football, this is literally what it is. But in this case, this is where you lead a band of exiles to freedom through an ancient competition spread across the vast mystical purgatory, who all shall return to glory, who shall remain exiled to the end of their days. Find out the biggest ever single-player campaign. This game is literally straightforward. Everybody has their own type of stories. Everybody has their own side quest. Each and every side quest and story leads to more of the main characters that you are leading the band with, which is the Night Hawks or the Night Wings, something like that. Night Wings, I believe. And you are taking this long trip with them, figuring out their stories, their backgrounds, what makes them so unique from others. The story is pretty vast. Everybody has their own little story about to each other. But the main quest is to get them all, or whoever is on your team, to win the tournament between everybody in the star system or universe, as they pointed out. And with that, you help them leave Purgatory into the real world where they all live their normal lives, and all the things that have brought them there, or whatever laws or issues they've done before, have been erased, and they get to restart life anew. And so far, I have found this story to be amazingly well done. And SuperGiant Games has been really well known when it comes to telling stories. Amazingly. Can we say Transistor here? Can we say Bastion? Okay, they have done amazing work, especially this story. This story definitely hits to the curiosity of you seeing what happens next and whose stories will you unlock next. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the gameplay. Now, if you've heard in the first part of this that the gameplay is like football and like basketball with fantasy mixed in. Yes, I know that seems highly unlikely that those genres can ever like fuse together into one thing. Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but this is exactly what it is, because it has brought the gameplay of throwing this like ancient ball around, and you catch it, you throw it into the fire. Well, the characters throw themselves into the fire, which is called banishment. And you have to use several different types of strategies. Use the charge up buttons to banish the other opponent so you can go straight to their goal, which aka is the banishment flame. The lower the banishment flame, the more closer you'll have into winning. Now, most of these banishment flames start with about 100 life each of them, but there are some cases after you beat the first walkthrough, they'll start getting higher and higher and higher, which the most I've dealt with is 150. I'm pretty sure there's more throughout the next playthroughs, because this is not a single playthrough, folks. You do not just play this once and you say, oh, that's over, it's done. No, this game revolves around you going through everybody on your team. So you're going to play this game more than 5 times. You're going to play this game at least more than 8, maybe 9, unless you really want to be like a super completionist or have like no losses whatsoever or anything else like that. But other than that, this game has like broke some barriers here. Besides the fact of, when I saw Pyre the first time, I wasn't sure how to respond to it. It looked amazing. I thought it was going to be like one of those action RPG adventure games. No. This game has brought the meaning of the word. It can be sports, but it can also have a good story, a fantasy type of world, and all the characters are very you interact with them, and you see there's some comedy between them. There's some very tough relationships. Is literally living out the life on how to run this team to make sure they get out safely and they get to the passage towards the real world. And so far, this game has definitely been on my top favorites from SuperGiant so far. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the pros and cons about this game. Now, there have been a couple of cons with this game. I'm sorry to say it, but you will like the score at the end of this game when I end this review when I'm done talking about it. But the pro and cons. Okay, I'm going to talk about the pros. The pros. 1, the story, amazing. 2, the artwork and how the levels are completely designed to give you the feeling of you're in another reality or planet or world. Definitely high up there. 3, I think I said 3. No, 4. 4, the gameplay wise, it's a sports fantasy game with adventure and a good story. How could you not like this? I mean, unless you really don't want to play like fantasy or sports games, then okay, I understand that. But when it comes to something where it easily flows together and it becomes something amazing as this game, I would do it. Number 5, each character has a different emotion, like a different attached emotion. Sorry, words. And so far, I've connected with like most of these characters, their stories and their lives, and it's just something really a lot to take in, especially when you're going through the story and each match that you go through with each of these enemy teams leads to the whole point of, hey, you're gonna unlock more of my story and my background and why I'm down here in this crazy world in the first place. And last but not least, the game gives an overall attachment to the player. It's not like something that has been paced and cut together. It's not something that has been rushed. This game has been taking its time to make sure the players feel that attachment towards each and every character, and the fact they use different strategies and positions to make it around to make sure they score the goal. Like I said, football and basketball is exactly what it feels like. So the cons. Okay, now there are a couple of cons with this game. I know, hey, don't judge. I'm just telling the truth on what I feel in this opinion. Just an opinion. So the cons. The controls for the keyboard. I have had my mistakes, okay, when it comes to certain games with just playing the keyboard. This game is probably one of those games that you should never touch the keyboard. The keyboard was like, you need the directional buttons and the ASD and the mouse. It depends on how you configure everything, but if you don't, that's like 3 ways to control your characters here. That's just something. Overall, there's sometimes some of the characters and some of the rights are more difficult to respect, and there's really not that many controls. It's the whole controllers. You need to make sure you have an exiles controller. Now, I'm going to talk about my final thoughts. Now, my final thoughts about this game, it is beautiful. This game definitely suits its made this game into a story that you know how that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Now I'm not saying that's stupid as I have listened to stories and this one is Cartwright so they can live their lives and get out of this crazy world of Dungeons and Dragons. The sports segment of the game, jumping into fires and burning themselves. Anyway, it's a point. The point is, this game is something to behold. This game is something that you need to take your time to actually play the game and how you want to play it. There's no right or wrong answers. I mean, sure, there might be some bad consequences, but there is never wrong answers. Pyre is definitely one of those games that you definitely need game definitely deserves that high score for the fact that it's been taken care of and it's something that's amazing. Now, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and keep playing and keep being awesome.